great gay people just to condemn them. If this God that you love and you exalt so much created gay people, he created them in his image. If he created transgender people, he created them in his image. So this whole story that you all, I'm calling people out right now, but that people created that gay people, transgender people, transsexual people, non-binary people are going to hell because they aren't cis or they don't just like one gender or whatever, like, that's bullshit. I don't know if I'm actually in the... There we go. So I told myself that I was going to take a break from doing videos, and I might not be doing videos anymore on YouTube. I didn't lie. I was just watching a video by Jimmy Snow. He has a show called The Sometimes Show, which I love. The way that he explains a lot of things, especially gender and sexuality, has really given me insight on how to explain it to others as well. Because recently coming out as non-binary, as well as coming out as pansexual and possibly being on the ace spectrum, has been very difficult, because not only do people like expect you to know what everything means and what you are and all that, what, like, have all the answers. I don't have all the answers. So yeah, it's been confusing in that way, because people expect you to have the answers, and when you don't, they pretty much, I just feel like a fraud, you know, but I'm not like I have to tell you that, but, and I may not ever have all the answers about myself. Well, that's true. We won't, but yes, I wrote some notes just because my memory is great. So I think it was this video that he was talking about it. He was reacting to a video that this couple, they are totally against. They were talking about Demilovato and how Demilovato recently came out as non-binary and are using they them pronouns, and how they don't agree with it, obviously. Talking about how Demilovato is just looking for attention, and how like maybe a year from now they probably will have changed their mind. And to be honest, it shouldn't matter if they do or not. This is who they are and what they have figured out about themselves thus far in their journey. And it's interesting how people take it upon themselves and I don't know, it's like they take it like on themselves and they're like against it because it's affecting them somehow, or they're letting it affect them somehow, and they don't have to. It really struck a chord with me about the whole that they think Demilovato is just looking for attention, because that was a huge reason why I hadn't come out for so long. Because in my past, I used to drink a lot, all this stuff, and I would get a lot of people, sorry, I might get emotional. I would get a lot of people expressing that they think I'm just doing all this stuff for attention, that I am crying a lot for attention, that I'm getting too drunk for attention. And what if I was? What if that was like it was a cry for help, but so what? And but that's a whole nother can of worms. That was why I was nervous about coming out, because I was and still am afraid of how people are going to react and how people are going to question me and question what I'm doing. And I know that shouldn't stop me from expressing myself, from being honest with myself and letting people know. But it had for decades, 20 years plus. I'm 28. So yeah, it had for a long time. There's a truth behind who you're like the idea that who you're surrounded with, like your environment and everything, can really affect who you are outwardly and can really affect how you express yourself outwardly, because of that fear of being rejected, that fear of being misunderstood. And that was a huge one. That is still a huge one for me, that people aren't going to understand what being non-binary means and will question it. And if they question it, my anxiety mind just starts questioning it too. So it sends me on a spiral, right? But I'm learning, I'm growing to not let that affect me. But that is a real thing. That is why it's so hard to come out at all as who you really are, because of that judgment and because of how people are going to react and have reacted in the past and whatnot to other people. Sorry, I'm like kind of out of breath because I just worked out. I didn't want to lose track of what I wanted to say. So at least you can't smell me. Okay, what was another point that I wrote down? Phase and choice. So I've discussed being non-binary with people, obviously. And it's interesting the type of retort, the type of not comeback, but way they've reacted back to what me being non-binary, how they've reacted to it. And I don't want to say a lot of people, but people in my life have reacted, most of them, very well. And I'm so grateful for my close friends and whatnot for not even trying to understand. Like, some of them are having a hard time understand, which is okay, but they respect me still and they love me for me, regardless if they understand or not. Real friendship. But long story short, there are some people that have come back at what I have to say, trying to fix me and trying to figure out how they could make me better. And how that maybe in a year or so, it'll be different, that I'll be a woman again, that I'll be a girl. I'm laughing because it makes me cringe and makes me nervous and upset that that's a reaction. Regardless of the good intention behind that, it still hurts and it still causes me to feel uncomfortable that people are trying to fix me when I'm at a point finally in my life that I'm so comfortable, becoming so comfortable with myself, that I'm able to openly express who I really am. Yeah, it's weird when people think what you're going through is a phase and say, oh, you'll grow out of it, or oh, it might change in a while. Like when I try to explain to people how I'm on the asexual spectrum, they're like, oh, well, have you tried this sex position? Or have you tried this or that? And I'm like, it's not a problem not to want sex. It's not a problem to not feel those urges, you know? But it's weird because in the movies and media and our society, that is a problem. It's a problem in a relationship if you're not having sex. And it shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be. Not only is being asexual a real thing, but there's also people with very low libidos. There's also people that have experienced lots of sexual trauma. Therefore, they're not going to want to do it or feel comfortable doing it. And those people should be able to have meaningful relationships with other people and feel that same love and romance, or if you don't like romance, whatever, as other people. My opinion. Sorry, I'm like laughing because I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous, like being even the littlest bit controversial because of the backlash you can get. But I'm doing it. So next one is choice. This is a tough one. A lot of people think I've chosen to feel and to be this way. No. If I look like my whole life, I've just been ignorant to who I am, in the way that I also had and have a lot of trauma that I had to get through to figure out this about myself. Looking back at my life, I see all the things, all the moments, all the situations with other people, with myself, that I stuffed deep down because I didn't want to admit that I was queer, or that I wasn't just into men, or that I don't feel like a stereotypical woman or a man. Like, I just feel like, I don't know why I'm crying. It's hard when you're constantly made to feel like there's something wrong with you. And for years, I told myself that. I told myself that there's something wrong with me. And it didn't help growing up in a religious home either, because then I'm led to believe that if I dare like even think about sex or think about being with a woman or all these things, that I'm going to hell. That if I dare tattoo myself or anything like that, like I'm going to hell, that I'm damned. And I'm not one that actually really knows if I believe in God, or like I don't believe in the God that the Bible talks about. I do feel like there's a reason why we're here, but that's the extent of where I go with that. But if there was that type of God, and in the Bible it says we were created, why am I so emotional? Sorry, guys. We were created in his image. Why did he create gay people just to condemn them? If this God that you love and you exalt so much created gay people, he created them in his image. If he created transgender people, he created them in his image. So this whole story that you all, I'm calling people out right now, but that people created that gay people, transgender people, transsexual people, non-binary people are going to hell because they aren't cis, or they don't just like one gender or whatever, like that's bullshit. That's not real. Like, it's contradictory to everything that you say about your God. I didn't choose to be non-binary. I didn't choose to feel like a stranger in this body. I didn't choose to have severe depression and anxiety. I didn't choose to like other genders, sexualities. But I'm finally at a point in my life that I love that about, but I love who I am. And if it were to be a choice, I would choose it every time. I'm finally at a point where I love being pansexual, where I love being non-binary, and I know what that means to me. I didn't know I was going to get emotional. I'm sorry, but not sorry. When I say I didn't choose, it's not like I regret being this way, but for a long time I did because of the reinforcement that it's wrong. And I just want to encourage whoever's watching this, wherever you fall on the spectrum, wherever you are in your life journey, whether you're figuring out that you're not straight or whether you're figuring out you are straight, whatever is going on with your mental health, you're not a problem and you can get help. Well, mental health speaking. That's what I mean by you can get help. You don't need help for being not straight. You are beautiful inside and out for who you are. And I'm finally at a point where I am, sorry, where I am loving myself for who I am. And that is also a reason why I've taken a huge break from YouTube, because I wanted to figure out the reason why I did it in the first place. And it's because I wanted people to see me for me. And maybe that's why I'm doing this video. Who knows? I don't know when I'll be doing a video next, but I just wanted to share this with you all and to let you know that, yes, it's Pride Month, but for me, it's Pride life. This is my life, and it's so many other people's lives that it should really be celebrated year round, in my opinion, but at least we're bringing some sort of awareness to the fact that we're real. Much love. I think I'm gonna end it here because I don't really have anything more to say. I feel like I've said what I needed to say. And yeah, I'll see you when I see you. This was as much of a surprise as it is to you to me. I think that makes sense. Much love, and I'll see you next time, whenever that is. Bye.